Hey, Derrick.
Hey, what?
You know what month it is?
It's May.
It's May. May what?
7th, I believe.
Yes. I was thinking about May. There's a lot of things that go on in May. You have the maypole and May bees. You have May days if somebody's going down. And then I said, there's something else that goes on in May that I really want to connect with this year. And you had to learn how to speak and count in Spanish. So when I did this, I practiced, and it was uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, baby!
Cannonball!
Let's go! Hey, take two. I like it. Sombreros are really not compatible to earphones.
Yeah, is that going to bother you for the whole show?
No, I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to be a low rider.
For the listeners only,
Yep.
go to YouTube.
You got to go to YouTube. Yep.
Because Coach has come in with a
sombrero.
Massive sombrero.
It's a sombrero.
Yes.
That's how we do it.
In honor of Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo. We're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah, because you shared an old picture of you in your kitchen.
Yeah.
It was funny. But,
I was representing. Representing.
So we're jumping in here. Bam!
We're doing it. Yep.
So, you know the drill. MotivateWithCoachCamp.com.
Yes, you're going to get motivated.
This gentleman right here on the right side of your screen is Motivate Coach Camp.
I don't know how you can't trust me.
Check him out.
You know what I'm saying? And if you want to watch some of these episodes, you can always go to a very awesome place to get that recording, SRP Studios LLC.com.
That's right. If you want to start a podcast, let me know.
Talk about it.
Please, you can have fun like this right here.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, if us knuckleheads can do this, you can too.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, another thing you can do is email us at
cannonballinglife@gmail.com. Alicia doesn't like that. I don't care. I'm going to do it every time.
You quit swinging that nasty fly swatter around.
Yep.
In this world, we got to remain positive.
You should, and there's a place you can go for that. There's actually an entire group page on Facebook called Positive Voices. Join up.
Link in description, and then after that, there's a link for
some money.
Motivate with Coach Camp Venmo.
Go ahead, throw us $5. We're gonna get some shirts made up. It'll be nice.
Venmo at Motivate with Coach Camp.
Give me something to help this hat fit better. Whew. Hey, look, what are we gonna talk about today, man?
Dude,
I've got a list.
No notes. I have nothing written in front of me.
I want to talk about my rap.
I haven't done a lot since last filming because I just didn't feel well. I just had a crappy week of just not feeling well. Not deathbed.
That's good.
Not pneumonia like I had last year, but just derailing. Yeah. I got derailed and still had to work, took some days off, whatever. So I don't have anything exciting to share. So this is going to be the Coach Camp Day. And you came in just ready to go.
Straight out of Latin America. Straight out of Latin America.
You are representing.
Hey, look, man, I am very multicultural. I enjoy other people's cultures, some of their norms, some of their abnorms. I really relate to the abnorms a lot of times. But this hat, if you will, this sombrero, actually came from Mexico.
So
Cancun.
On a vacation, decided I want that.
I did. Actually, I got 3. And so I had to, you can't pack these in luggage because unless you got really big luggage. So I had to wear all 3 through the airport.
No, you did not.
I did. I got a picture of it.
Are you serious? I thought you were going to say you shipped them home.
No, I wore them straight to the airport.
All 3 just layered on top of each other?
Through the airport, onto the plane. They loved it. The people on the plane loved it.
I'm sure your family really loved it too.
Well, they're used to it.
I mean, what did you do when you sat in the plane? You did not keep that on your head,
No, I had to take it off, put it in my lap. All 3 of them stacked up.
Oh, God, that must have been a long flight. No, that's commitment.
It was commitment.
How much does a sombrero like that cost?
Oh, we're talking 2004 when I bought this. This is old school. $25 back then. Of course, down in Mexico too. Dollar goes a little further.
Yeah. But 25 American.
Yeah, I'm still a little tight on my head right now.
U.S. I should say.
Yeah, U.S.
Not bad.
Yeah, I got a funny story about it.
Okay.
Should I tell you?
This is what we do here.
Okay, let me tell you about it. So one of the 3 that I purchased, and I've said this story before, but I'm going to give you the consolidated version of it because it's relative to where we are and what we're doing. And one of the 3 was like this one, but it was a different color, same style. And I go into, I'm bringing it to a friend. I brought it home, going to give it to a friend. So I meet him at the only place you meet to give items of gifts from Mexico, a Mexican restaurant. And I'm sitting at the little bar area waiting on him to get there. And the people behind the bar, which are all Hispanic, they keep looking and peering at me because they're trying to figure this out. Probably not common in Olive Branch, Mississippi, for a whitish looking dude to sit there with a sombrero. And this wasn't Cinco de Mayo. And so one of them comes out and they start talking to me and says, "Hey, man, you got on a little boy's sombrero. You need a man's sombrero." So apparently this is a little boy's sombrero.
Really?
And I had it turned around the wrong way,
That's
too.
a big little boy.
So the flip is supposed to go in the front, and at that time I had it turned around like a baseball cap.
So they weren't offended by it, though.
No, they realized I was a dumb gringo.
So they saw the humor in it.
It was funny. Of course.
Did you explain to them where you got it?
I did. I told them what I was up there for.
Did you fix it in front of them?
Yes.
You spin it around?
And they're the ones that educated me. I had no idea. I was like, all right, yes, sir. So, yeah, I was like, it's a few days after Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
Why not bring this thing in and let's just celebrate? I had this shirt in my closet sitting there waiting to be worn
Straight out of Latin America.
for this kind of day.
I'm wearing Area
beautiful.
51 ice cream.
How about that? Yeah.
Man, back in the day, Cinco de Mayo was just such a great excuse to go drink and party.
And it still is for so many.
Yeah, not me. It's just another day.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of my friends because that day, typically a lot of venues and restaurants for that day will hire a band.
That's
a lot
true.
of places that wouldn't normally have a band. It's a special day, so they have a band. So a lot of my working musician friends gig, so I see all the posts, and I'm like, man, I do not. That and St. Patty's Day, was always debauchery for me.
Yeah.
Just perfect excuse to be an idiot.
It was hijacked by Americans.
Yeah.
So I did
of course.
I did a little research.
Do you know why?
Yeah, because so you could drink.
The drinking.
That's what it is.
It's like St. Patty's.
Same thing with St. Patty's.
I don't know if I have any Irish in me. I certainly don't have any Spanish in me.
Right.
Descent.
So,
But
yeah.
I loved Cinco de Mayo, though.
Of course you did. It was the 5th day of. It comes right after May the 4th be with you.
That's right. Which is another day I don't celebrate.
I did look it up because I was curious myself. So how Cinco de Mayo even came about was it was the 5th day of May, of course, in Mexico, and it was celebrating the battle. This is an educational portion of Cannonball, something new we're doing. 1862. And it was the battle of, and I wrote it down, but I must have written it in Spanish because I don't know, Puebla. And it was when they beat Napoleon III.
Good job.
That's how it got started. And then they see the Americans being like, getting drunk, and they're like, y'all are idiots. Come on to our restaurant then.
Yeah.
we'll serve you.
Yeah.
We'll make money on this one.
If this is how you want to celebrate it, let's go.
That's right. That's it.
We like making money.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco. I mean, is there anything better than a good Mexican restaurant, too? I just love the food.
It's funny because we have like 7 or 8 here in Hernando, and I have my favorite, which is different than your favorite. So they all offer a little something different.
Mine's Guadalajara. What's yours again?
El Preso.
El Paraiso, which is my second. That's my number 2.
How about that?
Because their fajita meat's great.
Yeah.
Good chips. I like them, but they don't have my dish.
Which one's that?
I get the enchiladas tapatillas.
See, that's the thing, too. That's another reason why you go to one versus another, because they do offer different dishes or different styles of dishes.
What I get, though, is very common. One, Mi Pueblo doesn't have it, but more often than not, it's there.
Huh.
So what enchiladas tapatillas is 3, sometimes 4 cheese enchiladas smothered with all the cheeses and the sauces and fajita meat, chicken or steak.
Okay.
So good.
It sounds calorie efficient.
No, I don't. I doubt it.
Oh, okay. Probably not.
But it's delicious. It's my
Yes.
favorite Mexican dish. And but when I go to a place like El Paraiso, I get the happy plate,
Oh,
which is just rice, cheese, and
I
meat.
mix it up, man. I mix it up. When I used to go to another place, they had like 1 through 20 options, and it was like a mixture of anything from like a burrito to a tamale to you could, like a combo thing. I literally used to, and then boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
and then point, but like, give me a number 6 today.
Yeah.
We're doing that.
Because it's all going to be delicious.
Sure.
There's probably, when you list out all the different ingredients for a Mexican
A lot
restaurant,
the same.
yeah, it's not a long list, but they just know how to make all these different variations that have their own different.
When I
feel
got
to it.
older, I had to stay away from El Diablos.
Yeah.
A lot of indigestion happening. Got to stay away from the hot sauce. Look, man, obviously this is not a stereotypical comment. This is real because I just built another house. A lot of Hispanic, a lot of Mexicans work in the construction area. And dude, I saw it several times this past year as they were building my mom's house. For a snack, they literally will pull out like a habanero pepper
Really?
They just eat it like it's an apple.
Whoa.
No, I'm tapping out. Yes, that's what's going to happen to me.
Oh, my God.
Much respect on the heat factor you guys can tolerate. Serious.
I would get heartburn immediately.
I used to see my dad eat banana peppers like that. He would put like 4 or 5 banana peppers on a plate and eat that like a snack.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, banana peppers are not as spicy.
Yes.
Dude was eating habaneros.
No. I like the pepperoncinis.
Pepperoncinis.
Love them.
We just had pepperoni sandwiches the other day.
Love banana peppers.
Yep.
Love them.
Banana
Put them in my
peppers. Dad used to grow them all the
Love
time.
them. But like a real jalapeno,
with the seed.
Put the heat to the side.
Right.
Just chowing down on a raw vegetable like that would give me heartburn. Like I can't do pepper. Like I can't do fresh peppers. Even sauteed peppers and onions is risky for me. I never have that on my when I go to Mexican. I never get sauteed onions and peppers just because of the heartburn. But a raw vegetable is even worse.
Oh,
and then now I have that feeling. My mouth is on fire. Let's get back on the roof.
Yeah, I don't know. They did that stuff. They did that stuff. I was like, bro.
In the middle of the summer.
They do it anytime. That is fact. That is absolute fact. Yeah. I'm going to have to, look, much respect, much love to my Hispanic people. That thing's crushing my forehead. We're going to have to transition back over. I'm going to put him over here. Whew, I wanted to rep.
I need to look at this thing.
I wanted to represent it for a second. Man, that thing is tight on the forehead. I ain't kidding. That's why it's a kid's. Either that or my head's gotten swole.
The flap goes
could be fatter.
Here.
Yeah, that's line it up a little bit more. There you go. Yep.
Oh yeah, the hole is not.
It looks pretty good on you, actually. I think you could pull that crap.
It's not forgiving. I mean, this is not form fitting. It is
probably for
solid.
a kid.
So it's just kind of. It's just.
Yeah, it's
setting
just
up there, balancing on my head.
I think though you should wear something like that at your next gig. I'm pretty sure Huey Lewis probably wore a sombrero at some point in his life.
Definitely fits.
Yeah. But you see how I could get that confused and have the flat part forward.
Oh, for sure.
So, anyways.
Well, that's awesome. So, what year did you buy that?
2004.
You probably mentioned
2004. Yeah, no, it's all right. So, this is, that's like, hang on. So, 14, 24. 21 years old.
Wow.
That's a classic.
Is that your favorite of the three?
Probably my favorite looking one. The other one I got was like a big straw one, and it is a men's sombrero. It's the size of this table. Put this table on your head. That's what you got.
This table is probably what, 4 feet?
Yeah, at least. So you got to figure though. That's you got to have a lot of neck power if you got a big heavy one like that. So
yeah, and a smaller cranium because my head. It doesn't fit me. Maybe that's why it's a kid's one, I guess.
Possibly so.
But still, put that on a 10-year-old. That thing's going to look ridiculous.
Or right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue. So, hey, guess what else happened this week?
What happened this week?
My students, as you know, I'm a professor at college. They finished up another semester of school. So they took their finals.
And as you do,
I do.
You motivate on game day. You call it game day.
It is game day.
And you come in different. You have a different theme, a different approach.
I do.
And this time you came in as what?
It was a flight medic. We demoed the rap song, I don't know, several episodes back. I need to do a new cut on it.
And what's the name of the song again?
Flight Time, because it's honoring the flight paramedics. That was what the theme was. I do some theme stuff, theme things. And all of my rap songs are EMS with a background to EMS, treating people, taking care of people. Yeah. Stuff like that. So, I did that.
You're not rapping about gang banging and all that stuff.
No, not that. Yeah. But even though some of it is in there in the respect that we're having to respond to it.
Yeah.
And we're bringing our love. But that's what we're doing. But, I thought about it. And so that was my third rap song I've done. But you may not know about some of my other motivationals I've done. Thought maybe I'd share it with you.
For game days?
For game days.
Well, first, paint the picture of this one because you dressed up.
Yeah, I had a flight suit on.
Where did you get the helmet?
A guy I work with.
Okay, so he let you borrow the equipment?
He let me. Well, I bought the flight suit. It's actually just a Halloween outfit.
Okay.
Got that on Temu, I think. I don't know.
But so you walk into the classroom looking like a pilot.
Sure.
Straight up.
That's how I do.
And then you high-fiving.
Yep.
The lady running the music started the music too soon.
She did. But you know what? That's all right. We didn't really have a good enough pregame show to work through the kinks. But
you did your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do this to motivate.
I do.
The other one that I'll never forget is you walk in like a gym teacher from 1985.
The mustache.
And the short
super short coach shorts.
Nut huggers.
Yeah,
as
them
we
things
call
up in there, them balls hugging.
Long socks.
Yes, sir.
You had a sweatband on, I
I
believe.
did. Well, you're going to get a little perspiration going.
Yeah, so
get that in your eyeball.
So okay, so how many? I know you said you've rapped for 3 of them, but in total, about how many of these game days have you come in with a theme and a certain message like this?
For about 17.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's every semester. We have 2 semesters a year. I've been there 9 years. I don't know if I did it the first year or not. I can't remember. Or the first semester.
Yeah.
But definitely after that.
I mean, by this time, they probably look forward to it, right?
Well, and word got out. It started, and that's where I was going to go with this. Some of the things I know that you don't know about. It all started with me presenting the idea of, on your test day, it's game day. So all this practice leads up to our big game, the big moment.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing, right? Hello. And so I started out thinking, what do basketball coaches look like? They always have a suit on with a tie sometimes.
Yep.
And they're on the sidelines. Now, I don't know if they're going to go straight to church when they're done. I don't know what's happening there, but they're ready. If they need, maybe they have a business interview afterwards.
I wish they did it like baseball, where the manager wears a uniform.
That would be awesome.
In football, too, if you saw the coach in pads and the basketball coach in short shorts.
I think it would be
It'd
great.
Hilarious.
In fact, I would like to see the coach differentiate themselves and wear the old 1970s basketball shorts and stuff. I think that would be fantastic. So it's like, oh, that must be the coach over there.
But for some reason,
Shelby
they wear
shorts.
a suit.
They wear a suit.
Yeah.
So that was what I started with, was I was wearing a suit, and I would come in and give a game day speech like you would in a locker room. Imagine the coach, maybe at halftime even, firing up the troops to go back out and fight, right? That's what I did. And it was maybe 3 semesters, and then the word got out. And then people were like, you going to dress up like a preacher? Because they started calling me preacher. It looked like a preacher. So you dress like a preacher.
And your cadence absolutely
could mimic that.
Yes.
Sure. So I thought to myself, well, there's one thing I don't like to be, is predictable.
This is true. Just like walking in with a sombrero. I had no idea.
No idea.
So
I said, all right, well, I got to mix this thing up. So I started doing different themes, okay? And so one theme was a cowboy. And I had this hat with some tight breeches and a belt buckle and cowboy boots. And I came in talking country and getting them fired up as country. And literally in this video, did a box jump up to one of the desks, like from the floor in cowboy boots up to the desk.
I'm glad you didn't just slip right off of that.
I don't even know how I pulled it off to this day. And since then, that was an infamous moment. People say, you're going to jump on a desk. I'm like, I'm not ever going to take that chance again.
Cowboy boots aren't known for grip.
Neither are old men.
So
jumping and landing.
I can just see you jumping up, landing on your feet, and then they just fly up from under you.
It's over, bro.
And then you're landing on your head.
So never again on that one. Did a Chris Farley skit. You remember Chris Farley?
Oh.
Down by the river.
Oh, my God.
I dressed up, man. I had the glasses. I put a pillow in my... Yes, I was the big, and I did the whole skit. It's on there. It's out there. It's in the world of tech.
But archived somewhere that you can find access it. Well,
absolutely.
I mean, find it on your Facebook?
Yeah.
That's so far down.
Could be.
That's so deep into your thread.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to start looking now. We would be 25 minutes, but I'll find it. I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's out there.
I want all of them.
Yes. So, and then at some point, and I can't remember how it transpired, the idea clicked. I'm like, I'm going to write a rap song. Actually kind of know part of what it was. There was a conversation between Zach and I. That's my son. And he had long time said he was going to be a rapper. And I kept saying, write a lyric. Never wrote lyrics. So I was like, I'm going to see if I can. So I wrote a rap song, pulled it off. It's good. All right. So did it again. So I did the same one a few times. I'm like, I need to write a new one. So I wrote a new one, did that a few times. And then this is brand new this last time.
Okay.
So that catches you up.
Yeah. So back in the day, in the past studio, we recorded a couple.
We did.
So those were the 2?
Those were the 2.
So when you were coming back then, you came to me with this stuff. Yeah, I think I remember now. You were telling me, like, I'm going to be doing this for my class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've done an assortment of, fiery motivational speeches. One thing I did one time, like I had this massive beard. All right. You've seen some pictures recently.
Yeah.
It was big. And I shaved it all off, all the way down to smooth skin, bicking it, as you say, and walked in. I remember several students just like they had seen a ghost. It was
shock or they're terrified.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it, man.
What are some of the other characters you did? So we've Chris Farley, preacher, cowboy. old school gym coach.
Old school gym coach.
Rescue pilot.
Rescue pilot.
What else did you have?
Just an assortment of different suit and motivational and shavings and some background music. I did that one year. I put some dramatic background music while I did my speech and tried to hit the points as I was doing it live time. So it wasn't like filtered in later. It was like actually in the moment.
So you were trying to hit the
feeling
beats.
the music and then trying to hit the pitches.
Yeah.
I thought it turned out pretty good. It was a couple semesters.
It's like an ad lib rap.
It kind of was.
I mean, you're rapping to the music. It's just not lyrics.
I mix it up. I thought about doing a toga and like wearing like the whole toga thing and doing like a Greek speech, but I thought that's not really motivating, but it would be interesting. So I don't know. I'm always thinking about, what could I do that's not been thought of?
Man, you made me think of a Halloween years ago that I had with my old casino band. I can't for the life of me remember where we played. It was out of state. And it was a weekly contract with this casino, but then because of Halloween, they had a special event in the hall, in the concert hall. So they paid us extra to do an extra show in there, but we had to dress up. And I'm like, I hate dressing up for Halloween.
Do you really?
I always did as a kid. I never liked it.
I would have seen you as being like,
Nope.
Okay.
I loved the candy.
Yeah. Sure.
So I go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Just like, or we went to some Halloween store, and I'm like, what prepackaged thing can I get? So it was a toga.
Oh, okay.
It was a Greek toga thing with the whole deal and the little head dressing and everything. I was like, all right, I'll be Caesar or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had this funny idea. I was like, oh, I know what I can do.
No clothes.
No.
That would have been.
No,
okay. All right.
No,
that would have been funny.
No, I had clothes under there, but I was like, I'm going to steal some romaine lettuce from the buffet the day of.
And make a Caesar salad.
And so I put lettuce all over my chest. And I was like, I'm Caesar salad. No one got the joke.
Yeah.
And this lettuce started wilting and it just looked gross.
Okay.
And then when people were taking pictures of us, we took band photos and everything, and you see me and it looks like I just have like Cheeto dust and food. Like I was just sitting down on the couch eating a bunch of food messily and just had food on my costume. It looked like a mistake. No one got it. Everyone was like, what's that on your? I'm like, it's lettuce. I'm Caesar. Caesar salad.
Yeah. Well, this is what Caesar had.
That's all I got.
That's all you got out of it. This is the late years of Caesar, kind of like Elvis. He's given up on life.
And of course we had to play, and the
salad was falling all on your strings.
I got a little hungry. I grabbed one, took a bite.
Might as well. You had a lot of rabbits that were your fan.
I should have added croutons. Maybe that would have sent the message even
Pour
more.
ranch over your head. Actually, Caesar salad has some other kind of dressing. I don't even know.
Caesar dressing.
Is that Caesar dressing?
That's what it's called.
Might as well be. I don't know. Keep it simple. That's what I say.
Anchovies, like classic Caesar salads have anchovies, so I could have put an anchovy up on there.
Wow, that seems fishy.
Only, hey, all right.
I'm pulling that out of nowhere. It was in my sombrero.
But instead of that, I would put a sardine up there because I don't know where an anchovy is, so put a sardine. Stink. Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, my guitar player in that band loved sardines.
Really?
We would be in some podunk gas station in the middle of nowhere, right?
You know what sounds good? Some old fish in a can.
Yeah, and then he would get the sardine cans. Loved it.
Yeah.
The kind of gas stations where when you use the restroom, you feel dirtier after washing your hands.
Yeah. Everything is done with your foot, lifting the lid, flushing the toilet, maybe even washing your feet. I don't know what you do then. But yeah, that's a scary situation.
He loved it.
And it's like, you know what? I'm going to crack the sardines open in the car with everybody. They're probably not going to notice. It has very small aroma.
Small aroma. Oh, man.
There we go. Yeah. Put some crackers on it. Did you see do you ever follow trends? Things just pop up all of a sudden.
Trends.
You never know what is going to catch. Like, for instance, I'm going to give this as an example. I don't do it for this reason, but it is a mystery. I posted the video of me rapping, and it's on TikTok, and you got like 300 views, 400 views, whatever. Somebody else will post something that is less caliber, not as not as cool or interesting and have 750 million likes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is the algorithm? I don't even understand how any of this works. You know, it'd be like one person just saying one thing and it's not even really funny and be like 750 likes. All right, whatever.
There's a science to the social media stuff, but much like the music business, luck, circumstance, right place, right time.
That's true.
Mystery.
It is a mystery.
It's
a great
always
way to put it.
has that mystery element to it. You just don't know what's going to go viral.
You don't know.
Ever.
And you don't know who started it and how it became viral.
Right.
So recently what had been circulating again, this is a reback. Is like back in the day, now it's coming back again, is the ice bucket challenge thing.
I remember that.
People dumping ice bucket on each other for whatever reason, for some cause.
I was called out and didn't do it.
Oh, really?
My old college buddy called me out and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, but but that's the thing. So like, and then I don't know what the significance is in the sense of you're doing it, but if maybe you're raising awareness because you're not really raising money.
Yeah, I don't know. It just became a thing. Did you do it?
I did back in the day.
Yeah.
This second round, no one's technically called me out, but I've got videos that are like saved. So I can pretend like I did.
So this is on Facebook now, starting to bubble back up?
It's been around. My daughter just did it. She was involved.
I have not seen any of it.
This is why I knew about it, because of her. So she's got
on
called
TikTok
out.
though.
She is on TikTok.
So it's probably more of a TikTok thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
And so she got a bucket dumped on her. Well, then another thing came out, which I found interesting. And so that's what I wrote down here. And that's what I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Can I do that? I want to talk to you guys.
Let's
Here,
go.
here you go.
Story time with Coach Camp.
Cuzzle, I want you to go get you a little blanket. Get you a blanket. Warm your milk up and settle in, because this is Stories with Coach Camp. Did you like the voice?
I loved it.
All right, here we go. 100 men versus one gorilla. Have you heard this crap?
Yes, I'm writing this down.
Ridiculous.
100 v gorilla.
Yes.
I'm team gorilla.
Are you team gorilla?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's so many unknown intangibles in here because immediately people assume their own version of what that looks like without any description. It's not tangible in a way.
Yeah.
So what do the 100 men look like? Are they monsters? Are the 100 men super fighters?
Yeah.
Is the gorilla old and beat down and have osteoporosis?
No weapons involved. That's
No weapons.
established.
Okay, yeah. So what is the goal? How do they beat them? Do they kill the gorilla or do they just wrestle it and subdue it?
Capture it, right.
I mean, like, what is the goal? There's so much vague idea to what that looks like. You can't really make a true choice. You would have to say 100 men that are 6 foot tall, 190 pounds, that have average fighting abilities, and a fully strong gorilla, whatever. All right, so you have to go through all these possibilities to get an answer. But people immediately assume their own version. And then it came to me.
Okay.
And it is all about the individual versus the gorilla. It's less about the gorilla. It's more about the person. And this is what I thought. You could pick, of all history, and there's no way to know this, the strongest, baddest, toughest, unless you're talking about King Kong, but maybe even King Kong, if he was real, the toughest gorilla on earth. And it only takes one man, if you know the right man.
To take down this gorilla?
Yes.
Okay.
Chuck Norris. There's no way. Any other person.
I've already seen the jokes out there.
Chuck Norris. I wrote down some things.
Chuck Norris has taken down 100 gorillas.
At least. It could be a complete reversal. Some things that you need to know about Chuck Norris. For those of you out there that may be Chuck Norris insufficiently educated, let me go ahead and throw it out. This is the story time with Coach Camp. Once upon a time, this is some Chuck Norris knowledge is what I want to give you. When Chuck slices onions, the onions cry. I want you to think about that, boys and girls. All right? Yep, that's all right. It's going to get better. When the boogeyman goes to sleep, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. It's a true story. That's a true story. I've seen that, actually. I witnessed it once. One time I witnessed this. Chuck Norris actually counted to infinity twice. That's right. And I read this in a book. Now, I can't say that I witnessed it, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Death once had a Chuck Norris experience. I know. And my favorite, and the thing that I'm still trying to get away from Chuck, because see, Chuck, he and I used to be friends, and I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he found out what Victoria's Secret was. I don't know what it is, but he does. So that's what you got to know about Chuck Norris. That man would whoop that gorilla all day long, maybe 100.
And he's going to live forever, isn't he?
I think so. He's 243.
He must be by now.
He was a part of the Revolutionary War, from what I understand. Yep. So he helped get our independence.
But 100, we'll just say 100 6-foot men in shape.
Yeah.
They don't have to be bodybuilders, but
healthy.
Farm strong.
Okay.
Country strong.
Yeah.
Men, 100 against a gorilla, no weapons. If it's only capturing, the men win, I think. I think they could figure out a way.
You're going to have to martyr
But there's going to be some casualties.
You're going to have at least 15, 20.
Who's on the front line?
Who's willing to give it all?
Right.
Because that's the ones that are going to, they're going to take the brunt.
Yeah.
The ones coming in behind, they're going to be weak. Probably take them out.
But killing the gorilla, which I would never want, because
you don't want
one of my favorite animals.
I do like gorillas.
I just don't see it. But man, I feel bad for the first third.
Probably.
The first 30% of men that come that way.
They got to be committed.
Because I read, of course, the stats are different and all these different posts and everything, but they're just the biting power.
Sure.
Crush your skull. Like 1,000 PSI, whatever that means.
Yeah, it's
and
something.
don't they have like the strength of 7 men? Like it's
prorated.
Prorated.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
it's prorated.
So they're giving you something.
I would want the gorilla to kill all 100 men because if you're stupid enough to even try that,
that's true.
But
I am convinced though 100 healthy, strong men could probably take down any land-bearing animal, even an elephant. Because there's strength in numbers. Now,
well, I mean, the elephant's not going to bite your head off.
No, they kill people.
But not like a gorilla.
Probably worse. They're strong. They kick and they throw you with their. They do the thing. They do like that with they got the long thing hanging around.
The gorilla is.
Lions are scared of.
The gorilla is like us with arms.
That's true.
That can wrap you up and bite your head off.
And I've seen them throw poop. I've seen that. I witnessed it.
Yeah, I love the gorillas at the zoo. Love it.
Don't get them mad. They'll chunk something.
I've never seen them chuck anything, but I've seen them get a little rowdy with each other.
Oh, they'll do that too.
Once and maybe twice. More often than not, they're just docile. They're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. Like
a man on the porch, just gazing.
Want to take a nap, probably.
Yeah.
His wife told him to get outside. Poor guy. Dang it. That's got to suck.
But the ice challenge is coming back. Man, that took over.
It did for a minute.
Oh, that took over.
Yeah. I was surprised by the 100 men versus gorilla was everywhere. I'm like, everybody's talking about it.
And where does it start?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, where does that start?
Who's the first person sitting around a table, pretty high, I imagine, probably with Snoop Dogg, I'm guessing.
Could you imagine, man?
Yeah, it's like CAT spells dog. So, I don't know. But anyways, I thought I'd bring that up. Hey, I wanted to ask you this while we're on the air and we're doing things and we're talking about stuff and we have words in our mouth. How's the DJ thing happening?
Good.
Yeah,
so,
got any gigs coming up?
I do. A-Fair is coming up on the
May 19th, 20th.
So a week from tomorrow, when we publish this.
Okay, we got Mother's Day coming up.
Saturday the 17th.
Oh, okay.
A-Fair, for anyone that doesn't live in the area, is the legendary arts fair.
Right.
That is held in the Hernando Square, hosted by the Optimist Club. It's their main fundraiser.
They're very optimistic.
It's $1,000 a booth to be a part of this, and people travel from all over the country to be a part of it.
I did not know that. That is some serious.
I only know
knowledge.
this. I interviewed one of the board members 2 years ago, maybe, for the Real Hernando. That's the only reason why I even know that little. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It closes the whole square down.
And you're going to be DJing.
So Palmer Home for Children. Shout out to Annabelle.
What? She's going to be in that.
You know Anna?
She's going to be on the panel of speakers, by the way. Go ahead.
That's right. Mm-hmm. She's, I don't know, don't quote me on her exact title, but like the community outreach specialist for Palmer Home. Out there trying to make connections to the community, find sponsors. Her and I are both are members of a BNI Business Network chapter. So we're longtime friends now. We know each other very well. She's awesome.
She's a great person.
And she's Palmer Home has the Kids Zone, right? In the parking lot of the City Hall is the Palmer Home Kids Zone. And I'm going to be DJing it. Manny Zepeda from Big Note Music Lessons is going to have a setup so kids can hop on an electronic drum kit or pick up a guitar and fuss around with that stuff. There's going to be a slide, an arts booth, something else. I can't remember. I don't have the information in front of me, but yeah, so I offered my services. And yeah, there it is. You know, it's
gonna be
free.
good.
Yeah, it's donating, but it's going to help a great cause for Palmer Home. I love Annabelle, so I want to help her as much as I can. But I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people throughout the day that filter through this fair.
It's a big deal.
So it's going to be great exposure. It is from 9 to 4, so it's a total of 7 hours of playing music.
Wow.
So I have to get very organized for this. And just yesterday, I finally put together the templates that I want to be able to organize such an event, because it's more than just playing music. My angle, what I really want to provide is like emceeing and talking about the event and promoting different vendors or making announcements, running the raffle, running an auction, if you know, a silent auction, whatever it may be. So I put together some templates where, you know, at the top of the sheet it will say 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and it has 3 blocks. 9, 9:20.
Do you have your music
9:40.
list picked into
Not
those?
yet.
Okay,
so I have to work on that
Do you
list.
practice going down like the road driving? And you're just like hitting things and you like announcing the song?
No.
Coming up next, we got something for everybody. Get on the dance floor.
I need to be in the moment, you know,
I
or a real reason, you know.
got you.
So it's not off the cuff. So I'm not scripting everything, but so it's 3 announcements per hour. At the top of the hour, 20 minutes, and then at 40 minutes. And each block, it's an empty block on the page, so I can write in, okay, I'm going to talk about this at 9:20. Anna comes, hey, we need to make this announcement on such and such, but it's going to be like after 12. Okay, so flip to the page that's from noon to 1. Or how about 12:20? Great. All right, give me some information.
Yeah, that's smart.
I can write it in that box, so it's there waiting for me. And then
Absolutely.
and then I have a template where it's basically like a information sheet that I'll have on my clipboard, so I can go to the vendor on the fly and be like, hey, I'm Derrick, introduce myself, tell them what's going on. I want to be able to promote you. Okay, great. Business name, write it down, have a little region for their website, their email, the phone number, and then a blank section. We're like, all right, do you have any specials? Any specific things you want me to talk about? And I write it all down. And then I have all that information captured. So then when I go to the booth, I'm organized and I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Do you have like something with a QR code so they can find you?
At some point, yes, I'll be doing that.
Should have that up there.
This is an excuse, but I need a better logo, so then I can have a logo sign made for the front of my booth. My logo is faked by me, and it's
Fake it till you make it.
but it's not designed to the degree where it has the proper specs where you can blow it up without it pixelating. You know, like it's not a professionally done
I heard
logo.
the initials JPEG. You got to get a JPEG.
It is a JPEG.
I don't know where you find those.
There's other things that
okay.
designers know how to make it so that way you can make it as big as you want and it doesn't pixelate. Mine, if I made a sign that was 3 feet wide,
Yeah.
you know, it would look
distorted.
blurry. So it's okay. I have the logo on the sheets that I have. I'm going to have business cards that has the logo on it, but it's small. But for right now, that's all I got. My Facebook page has just a few followers, but I don't have any.
Did I follow you? I'll find out.
I haven't been working that page because I just don't have anything. I did take photos and a little bit of video at my first gig at DeSoto Family Counseling Center. I have that saved. Of course, I'll be taking pictures and video of this, which will make for great content because I can have LaShawn or a friend or whoever else be like, hey, here's my phone.
Right.
Hit record, and then I do a break.
Sure.
Boom. It's a great way to show an example of what it is I do. But right now, through B&I, just making some connections, that's all I got, and that's all I'm doing because I'm trying to build my resume.
Baby steps, man.
I've done 1 gig.
Mm-hmm.
I got my second one coming up in less than a little over a week. Then I have the Arts Council Back Porch Party in June, and then I just nailed a good one here thanks to Manny Zepeda and some connections that we have together. Principal Toyota here in Hernando is doing a big event at the Fieldhouse, the Gatorade Fieldhouse in July called Dunk Your Boss. And it's a big dunk tank, but they're going to have all kinds of vendors and booths, and it's a big deal in there. And I connected with them, and they were looking for a DJ, and they were super nice. The lady I spoke to was all on board with it, and I told her everything I just told you.
Yeah.
As far as what I can bring, she's like, I love it. Of course, this is another donation, but man, that's a real deal.
Yeah.
Gig. It's these 4 things. DeSoto Family Counseling Center, A Fair, Palmer Home, Play Zone, Arts Council, and then now the event at Gatorade Fieldhouse with Toyota, Principal Toyota. All prime examples of exactly what I want to get paid to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that is it. I don't want to be a club DJ. It's never been my thing.
Events.
Events.
You got to think about like Chick-fil-A. Before everybody does a delicious chicken sandwich, they had to stand on the corner and give out samples. You got to give a little before you get a little.
Yeah. Oh, that's 100%.
I know. And this is for all those out there because you and I obviously live this life. We do this all the time. We give a lot, and then every once in a while it comes back full circle. We talked about my speech last week about how finally I'm getting solicited to come in and speak and paid for events, and that's the goal. That's the goal. Now, here's the thing: diversity. If you need somebody to help you at a point, especially with the Kid Zone, and you want the kids to calm down. Mm-hmm. I got a DJ that can set in for you for about 30, 40 minutes.
And that's you?
Mm-mm.
Who?
Alicia Camp. You ever heard of her? Mother of Maddie.
I got it. Hold on.
Here we go.
Cue
it up.
Wrong page. I went to my calendar.
Can you quit slinging that nasty fly swatter out?
One more time.
Can you quit slinging that nasty fly swatter out?
Give us a chance, young
lady.
Can you
quit slinging that nasty fly swatter out?
That's what I'm talking about. DJ Triplicate. So here's what I come to realize about her.
DJ Triple.
She likes to slow the mood down.
Okay.
We're cruising down the road. And now my stuff is always about high energy. We might go from Rage Against the Machine to some Beastie Boys. You know what I mean? It's pump, whatever. It's up there. That's how I'm wired. And then she's like, I'm tired of this music. I'm going to take up. And every song on her playlist is a little slower and a little slower.
She's bringing it down.
And a little slower. It'd be like, hey, everybody, DJ Lullaby is now here. Get your kids together. Get your mats out.
DJ Lullaby.
We're going to take a nap because DJ Slow It Down is going to slow it down, everybody. Just relax. Let your blood pressure relax.
DJ Sloth.
Deep breath. Nice. And I'm like, totally different.
So, I have to think about music. It's the Kid Zone.
Yeah, it is.
So I have to put together a list. And I use Spotify.
Okay.
I don't have the cool DJ software yet. So I have to pull off Spotify. If you don't know what Spotify is, shame on you. Because this podcast is on Spotify.
How about that?
But I subscribe. I have a monthly subscription, so I have access to all the music in the world. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And you can build playlists, and that's great and all. But you need Wi-Fi to do that. So I have a hotspot on my phone. And that was one thing when you do these free things at the front end, you're also doing it to educate yourself and make mistakes.
Practice, reps.
Make mistakes.
Yeah, what are they going to do, fire you and make your money?
Right. Issues will arise. You need to know these issues so you can fix it, right?
Yeah.
So I got lucky that my phone data service was strong, so I was able to pull the Wi-Fi I needed for my phone to my computer and had a great event at DeSoto Family. But I need to prepare if I don't have internet at all. So Spotify has this feature when you're a subscriber that you can download the music, not download it to your hard drive and own the music.
Yeah.
Just download it so it syncs to your hard drive so you can access it when offline.
It's kind of like having to download a movie before you get on a plane.
Right.
So you want to watch it on your phone.
You don't own it.
I get what you're saying. You don't own it.
You can't email it to somebody.
Right.
But it's there. So I have to, And then I've realized I need about 10 songs per hour to be safe.
Yeah.
So 70 songs. I got to put a list together of 70 songs. But
by the end of the day, you could probably loop back to some of the ones you did.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, radio stations do that all the time.
I want to be, and I will encourage people to make requests.
Sure.
It's the other thing. Hey, if you have a request, let me know, which reminds me.
I want some Glorilla.
Which I need. Glorilla. I get some kid that comes up, can I get some Slayer, man?
Yeah, right.
Not today.
I got you worked out. Here we go.
Now I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
That's a new template I need to make on Canva. A place where people can write in a song request. But yeah, so I have to do kid-friendly stuff. But again, what's great about Spotify is there's all these pre-made lists out there.
Oh yeah.
So
put an age range in, or
just
something.
like DeSoto family. I just typed in yacht rock, and it just gave me everything that it deemed to be yacht rockish of that era.
Sure.
So now I can just search kid friendly, and just go from there.
We'll talk about kids too.
Okay, so yeah, that's the update on Thrive, brother.
That's good stuff. You ain't got no grandkids yet.
No.
Let me tell you about grandkids. Had the granddaughter stay the night last weekend. Bruh. She 3.5. And talk like a 45-year-old woman. She got opinions and facial expressions and all kind of stuff.
Is it raspy like she's been a smoker all her life too?
No, not yet. She hasn't got that far. Probably going to be there soon though. But it's just, like at one point, it's full screech screaming at the top of her lungs. And we're like, oh my God, what just happened? And there was a tick on her leg walking. So I was like, that was a traumatic moment.
Was it still just right on the surface?
Yeah, it was just walking.
Good.
But yeah, because we live in the country. It's going to happen.
Oh,
I'm like, girl, get used to this. Here we go. So that's going to happen. But man, here's what I know. 45 minutes of full get it with a 3.5-year-old, I'm toast.
Yeah.
People say, you got so much energy. I can't keep up with 3.5-year-old. No. They're just going and they're doing stuff and doing stuff and doing stuff. And then it got me to thinking, the TV shows she watches, it's all YouTube.
Yeah.
It's YouTube, and it's not even like a show. It's a kid talking about a crayon, and they're doing something with the crayon, and then they're saying something funny about the crayon, and then they made a mess. Oh no. Yeah. And then they're like cleaning it up, and she's just watching this like it's the greatest thing on earth.
Wait until she upgrades to the unboxing videos. My daughter went
taking stuff out of boxes.
Yeah, it's a phase. I mean, it's exciting for kids. I mean, think about it. Like at Christmas, it's
everybody does stuff.
Surprise, and you want to break open and open up and see what the toy looks like. So
makes me think about a birthday party.
So these families will have their kids do these videos, and they get massive views.
I could only imagine.
Massive.
You make sense on that because you think about a birthday party, you got 15 kids there. They're all crowding over the top of the birthday kid trying to open a gift. They all want to see what's in there.
Just like a lot of these toys for that age group, like LOL dolls, this on and on and on. It's like a plastic ball, right? Mm-hmm. First, you got to take the wrapper off. Okay, and then you got to break into the ball, opens it up.
Yeah.
And the little figurines packaged, that figurines hat and accessories are packaged, this other little thing. So there'd be like 5 mini little packaged things in that. Okay, now more things to open.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part.
How about
That's
that?
what you're spending the $10 on. Because I promise you, once my daughter put all the things together to the figurine and everything, then it was forgotten about.
Sure.
I tell you what. That's where the toy's exciting for the kids.
You just gave me a great idea. To get my wife more excited, I'm going to start wrapping myself up. Hey, come unwrap something in the bedroom, baby. I got something for you.
Just make sure none of the tape is on your skin.
Oh, yeah, because that'd be a wax job. That'd be different. That's a different situation.
Before.
I have experienced that, and that was an intentional wax job all the way up my nostril hole.
Yeah, your daughter was trying to wax your mustache.
That's a TikTok moment. No, she's trying to get she was trying to wax my nose hair and got my mustache. I had a reverse Hitler. It was 2 bald spots in the front.
That video is priceless.
Oh, my Lord.
Because the look of pain and terror on your face
it was real.
Was so genuine.
Because it hurt.
Oh, man, I could not imagine.
Yeah.
And you have a thick beard.
It's pretty thick.
I mean, and so your nose hair, it all...
It was blended. She didn't do the cup thing. There's a little cup thing you're supposed to do to protect the whisker.
Yeah.
She didn't get that.
I mean, waxing your nose hair is waxing a forest.
Apparently. Especially whenever the mustache is involved. So, yeah, there was all that. But it got me to thinking about the shows that she watched, and it was just weird. And then I thought back to my kids. So when I say my kids, like Zach and Trey, they were like the Barney, Teletubby World, Bananas in Pajamas, and those all were annoying. But then I thought back to mine. What was your kid's show? Do you remember one?
Early.
Wrestling, probably.
Well, yeah. By the time I'm 8, 9, 10, it's wrestling. Price is Right. Game shows.
Yeah. Bugs Bunny and those cartoons, they used to smoke cigarettes.
I'm into all the cartoons. Tom and Jerry was my favorite.
Yeah.
I love Tom and Jerry. Did you watch Sesame Street? I watched Sesame Street.
Okay, well, that's common, yeah. Yep. But you watch any dumb
But we had such...
Ultraman?
We were way more limited.
Yes, you were. That's what I'm getting at. So you had like maybe Ultraman or something to that effect. You remember him?
I would say my kid's show was Sesame Street,
You know what I got into for a hot minute when I was a little kid?
So
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, well.
Boy, did he take a bad turn.
Pee-wee's Playhouse, yeah.
Yeah, but that Playhouse obviously meant something different. So that was the guy. Yeah.
Also, very fortunate. Early on, my grandparents had HBO. When
Really?
HBO
Okay,
first
yeah,
became a thing.
Oh, you were cutting edge.
And we had a remote control on the TV. It was pretty amazing.
You got up past 2 a.m. You got something extra.
And Fraggle Rock.
Oh, I do remember Fraggle Rock.
Loved Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, was that with the little dinosaurs?
Well, the little, I guess you'd call them that. I don't even know what they were.
Okay.
But yeah, they lived underground.
Yeah.
But then they had a route to the real world.
That's right.
And they had that guy's garage with that dog. And
Yeah. I remember.
loved
that now.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
So that was good stuff.
I was just watching her shows and it made me think about it. I was like, man, I did watch a lot of Pee Wee Herman. I remember my mom and dad saying how dumb it was.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking back, I'm like, man, they're right.
On Fraggle Rock?
No, Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
Pee Wee
no.
Herman's
I
dumb.
still think it's funny.
Yeah, it's dumb funny. It's kind of like Dumb and Dumber funny.
It's silly, but it's funny.
I guess so.
I mean, his movies still
All the
holds up.
all the furniture talking and stuff. You know, that's what captivated you as a kid, I guess.
Oh, what was the guy that was the floating head in the box? Always had a saying. Oh, it's coming to me.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Is it Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Hiney
Honey
Ho?
ho.
Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Hiney Ho.
I'm going to put that in my next rap song. That'll be good. I don't know how I'm going to blend it, but I'll put that in there. Make a high, make a hiney ho. Every time you get up, it's time to go. I don't know. I just put it together somehow.
that
I'll put
rhymed.
something together. Mr. Rogers was always there. And
Yes.
Mr. Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, and Bozo the Clown.
Yep, those were all good.
I watched Bozo the Clown.
Hey, look, sometimes we bring this together because I know somebody out there, Gen Xer, is like, I remember that show, and then they talk about it. So we've actually had some feedback on that. So bringing up some memories, man, that's what we're doing
Good stuff.
here.
Bozo
So good
the
stuff.
Clown,
It really
Captain
is.
Kangaroo, Mr. Rogers.
Hey, you know, we were talking just before we got started about rescue stuff. I was showing you some old pictures.
Yeah, Coach brought in this awesome photo album with all kinds of great stuff from your fire days.
Fire days, showing you some rappelling, some water rescue things.
Some gnarly accidents and fires and just crazy stuff.
You know, a lot of HIPAA violations, I'm sure. It's all blended into that.
You told stories last week or 2 weeks ago about food fights. Well, there's proof. He has pictures of
I do.
guys with food on them.
Lots of activities going on, Firehouse Boys. Well, I came across this story I wanted to share with y'all. So this one right here.
First off, I love how when you bring in your notes.
I got to do it. It's like a steering wheel. You just got to spin it and
He'll have his notebook like straight up, and then he turns it to the side, and he'll turn it upside down, then turn it back to the other side.
Yep.
It's circular.
It's encrypted.
It's just
Nobody
just
knows.
chicken scratch.
If this got into the
rhyme or
wrong
reason.
hands, people would be like, I don't know what the sentence means. So it's like part of it's Japanese because it's up and down, and then it's back this way. We don't know. It's a what are those things called on the rocks? The hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphic.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say.
You're the only you need one I need to talk to.
Hieroglyphics. Right?
Okay, sounds good to me.
Right?
Yep.
Side note, think about it.
I am.
Emojis. When you text with a smiley face and then a dancing guy, and
Somebody
you
1,000 years
can
from now.
text a story with just using emojis.
That's true. That's what they
That's
did.
hieroglyphics.
They were the first emoji writers.
Yep.
Wow. That's deep, dog.
That's
a
deep.
deep dog comment.
Deep.
Well,
What you gonna do?
I don't know right now.
Just
We're going to
'cause.
find out. We're going to find out. I came across this story, so it kind of blended with the rescue thing. So I wrote it down. So that's why I'll bring in my pictures, let you see those things. There was a guy, the story came out a couple of days ago. He was rescued by a team in Japan on Mount Fuji. Man had climbed up Mount Fuji, got stranded, stuck. They had to have a rescue team come in and save him. 2 days later, man went back up Mount Fuji, got stuck again, and they had to go back up and rescue him a second time.
Man, dude.
I thought about that, and I'm
You
like,
escaped death the first time.
and it's like, you know what? I'm going to try this again. Let me see what we can do. I wonder if that conversation was like, the rescue team's getting there like, really? You again? He's like,
Yeah.
I thought I could do it this time.
They should ban him now. Be like,
Yeah, it's like,
you are
no more
not
Mount Fuji.
allowed.
You're off of the Mount Fuji list. No more Fuji for you. No
more-
Fuji for you.
No more Fuji for you.
Yeah. I was reading this thing and I'm like, you know, it's as absurd as that sounds. it's almost the same. I'm not going up Mount Fuji, but we made the same people for the same things all the time on the ambulance.
Right. And you told me, you showed me pictures of these people.
I did.
Like, yeah, he called all the time.
Allegedly, I did. Allegedly, just for the record.
Allegedly.
We did. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. We don't know yet. Straight out of Latin America.
But it was great seeing those photos, and it makes me want to dig through my mom's photo albums because, and we talked about this briefly.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to join the fire department.
They don't.
Makes me want to join the fire department.
No, they don't.
Not that.
Different solicitation. They would not hire me.
Different emotion.
Just, we talked about and reminisced.
It's one of them words. It starts with an R.
Dooba.
Ends with a uba.
The feel good about old school photography.
Mm-hmm.
You get your little 35 millimeter.
Takes you back there.
You don't have to be a pro. Just an automatic camera. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And then you mail off the film.
That's right.
And a month later, you get your photos back and you're excited. The family sits around the dining room table. You're reliving your trip to Disney World and passing pictures around. And it's a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. And then you put it in a book and it's archived so you can access it any time. Old school stuff. We lost that.
We did.
With the cell phone. You grab a bunch of pictures, you post it on Facebook, and that's it. Like, no one is like, if a family now goes to Disney World, when they come back home, I don't think they're sitting around the table
looking at the pictures,
tossing their phones around. Look at this. Do you remember this?
No, they're not doing that.
Not at all. And so my mom, God love her, when I was growing up, was big time on the camera. Big time. So we have so many great photos. It eventually stopped, so I don't have much after a certain year, right? But growing up, my mom took so many great pictures, and we all have stacks of photo albums, and going to fire, and when you lose a house, that's the stuff that's heartbreaking.
Sure.
That's the stuff you can't replace.
You cannot. You're right about that. In fact, if my house caught on fire, that's one of the few things I'm going to try to get out. That and my videos.
Right.
Because I've got a bunch of DVD videos.
You can replace your couch,
Yes.
I mean, it still sucks. I'm not saying that it's not tragic.
But you can't go back in time.
All your clothes. I mean, our friend Ann Lunsford lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful. But everything was replaceable.
That's right.
At the end of the day. But losing heirlooms and photos, man.
It's a rough go. You talked about, too, whatever, and it did remind me. So those were taken with a disposable camera. But, man, I had the cameras back in the day, the 110s, where you had to do the thing, and if it was a little dark, you had the bulb on it, and it was flash and spin, and you go, and then you didn't
pull out
know.
the little roll of film and mail it off.
And you didn't know if you didn't have any more pictures left. So sometimes you take that snap, and then you start rolling, and you're like, oh, I'm
Done.
out. I'm out. And then you have to take that film out, send it off. I remember at one
sometimes you get pictures back and one roll was crappy.
Yeah.
All the pictures were crappy and you're like, damn it.
It ain't like you took a picture and you say, all right, see if you like that. It was like, let me do one
next.
more. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully one of those took. We don't know. Yeah. Maybe we captured the moment. Mm-hmm. Maybe we just talk about almost capturing the moment.
No.
I got one last story here before. Are we getting close?
We can wrap it up.
All right. So last part on picture taking. I was put in charge. I may have said this story a long time ago, but we've been doing this for a while. I was put in charge of taking the pictures at my sister-in-law's wedding. My mother-in-law gave me her camera, which was much like the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I go around, man, and I am taking the pictures. I've got angles. I'm down close to the aisle, and then they're walking, and man, just tons of angle shots. And I felt like I was in my element for a minute. I was like, I'm a professional here. This is what's happening. Just to act like I'm not existing. Yeah. I am getting the moments. And then it dawns on me, man, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been winding it. And I'm like, I don't. It doesn't seem like you should have this many pictures in it. I take it. She never put film in.
Empty.
The entire wedding.
Oh,
denied.
Not happening. Not happening. And it's probably a good thing because later, open bar and dance floor, and all I'm saying is I'm leaving it. I don't have my shirt on. I don't know what's going on.
And they got pictures of that.
No,
they made sure to put film in for that one.
I was just told about that part. I did not have any pictures. All I know is I was on the dance floor and I was
Cannonball.
Let's go. That's a good way to do it, bruh. Hey man, thanks for showing up and doing this thing.
course.
Good stuff, man.
No, this is fun.
It is.
I feel better than I did last week.
Good. You look
was
better.
fun.
Smell better. Everything's working.
That's good.
That's good stuff, yeah. Hey, look, I know one thing, too. Every time I get in my car and drive to a certain place that I know I'm going to have fun, it's usually SRP Studios LLC.com.
Thank you for that. This is a playground for podcasters.
It is.
So go check out SRP Studios LLC.com.
Yeah, it's good.
Directly after that,
Yeah.
go to motivatewithcoachcamp.com.
Type it in. Chopstick.
Find the link to Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Then you'll find this podcast on the Motivate with Coach Camp threads.
That's right.
Cannonballing Life every Friday. Motivate with Coach Camp every Monday.
Yep. And then
We've got some good interviews out there. 100 plus.
100 plus. And subscribe to the YouTube. I'm at 2,999. I need one more.
Nice.
I need one more. And while they're doing that, they can also go to the Positive Voices and put some messages in there that are happy.
Yeah. You know, we should probably start featuring some posts from that group on the show.
We'll do that. That's a
Right
good
after
idea.
we read your email
That's
that you send to Motivate. No, not Motivate.
Cannonballing
Life
at
gmail.com.
There we go.
Yeah. And look, living ain't free, people.
It ain't free, but
And
it's fun.
there's an app
Sometimes.
called Venmo,
Oh, I've heard about that.
and you can go to
Motivate.
the little
ad sign.
that little ad sign. Motivate with Coach Camp
That's one. Yep, on Venmo.
on
You can do
Venmo. Link in the description.
that. $2.
$2, please.
$2 can buy a shirt somewhere.
$2 for every minute of our show. So
After tariffs, it's going to be $4. We need $4. We're going to we're putting tariffs on you now. So we'll call back on something. I don't know where. Hey, look, how much
callback.
fun?
Oh, I have an idea where that's callbacks from.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Hey, good times, brother. I know this much. Next week, we're going to take it up a notch.
Yes, sir. All right,
Let's do
y'all.
this.
Have a great weekend.
Holla.
See ya. We did it.